Well, good morning. It's another beautiful day in little New Zealand here. What am I doing today? Wiring, I suppose. So, I'm in the shed again by myself. The old man's at work, I'm not. It's great. So it was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday for that. And we'll see you tomorrow. We've got 4 days working together. Anyway, I'm going to look at wiring up the hydraulic pump and the water methanol pump today. And I thought, when I ordered all these plugs, I thought, oh, I'll get a heavy pin one because there's some quite beefy cables on that. So I ordered a 5-pin plug like that, and it came in this size. So look, 5 pins, but it's massive, so that is way too big for just those. So went into town this morning to the local shop and got these Aqua Safety. Anyway, so I got these smaller bulkhead fittings. These are a 3-pin, so I need 3 for the hydraulic pump and 2 for the water methanol. So I'll use these instead. These are a lot smaller and they'll go straight in the back of the box. So we haven't finished that. I put it all together yesterday. Got it all ready to be cut to the right length and then put into the box, but I forgot the block, the hydraulic block, not the pump, just the transfer block. This thing here, I forgot to wire that in, so I'm yet to do that. So I've got to pull that other loom apart and add that into it. So I'll get that done first thing this morning, and then I'll get on to the hydraulic pump and such, and then catch the old man up. Righty ho, let's go. Do you all like rock music? If you do, you should check these guys out. So this is a New Zealand rock band, Devil Skin. Just have a look, they're pretty good. So here's the new modified loom. So that's got to have the big plug put on it. So water methanol. I had to adjust the length of this because I forgot that it runs right around the back, but here's the one for the hydraulic block that I forgot. I've actually had to leave it long because the old man took my pump, and he took my pump for the hydraulics and the water methanol to do some homework apparently, so can't terminate that until I get that back, which should be tomorrow. And then just on the other side of the boat is the other bilge pump and the ball valve. So what I'm going to do now is chuck this on, and I'll give you a bit of footage of how I do it. So important tip when you're going to put these on, make sure you cut this longer and then make sure you slip a piece of heat shrink on. I soldered all 26 on and forgot that I hadn't had a piece of heat shrink on the back of there, so I had to wind up a tape. But every other one I've done, I've put a bit of heat shrink on and just pulled it back, and then I trim the outer sheath once I have that in the right place. But when you do heat shrink, make sure you get the stuff with the glue inside, because it makes it stick to this outer sheath really nice. You can see the glue coming out, so it holds everything in position. Loving this outer sheath, it just keeps everything nice and tidy. It's everywhere. She's not just your carbureted boat, is it? It's just full of wires. So I mark with a piece of tape where I'm going to cut my wires, go on this plug. All I have to do first is remove this, slip this on, and you pull this apart. So this also unscrews. So you slide that bit on, put this on, but make sure it's the right way. If you do it that way, you're unsoldering everything. So you're going to make sure it's on the right way. And then let's do some soldering. So I've just got to pull out this earthing ring. I think I showed you in the other video, but we're not going to earth the hull of the jet boat because that will cause electrolysis. So we're going to run all terminals back to the negative. But yeah, so pull the earth ring out and I'll chuck it in the vise and we'll start doing some soldering. You've got to make sure you write down what you're putting to which pin, so you don't have to get out the old tester and start trying to hunt down which wire does which. But let's do it. So the easiest way I've found to do it is I just chuck it in the vise. Oops. And then so I'll hang this over here. Then I'll cut one to the right length and then use that as a reference. And then as I go, I'll cut every single one and link it in. Doing one by one. I'll put a heat shrink on every single one so they don't touch. So I'll get into my soldering and we'll try out the new trade flame. Ooh, sounds flash. So we'll crack into it and see what the new soldering iron goes like. Check it out. Turn it on. Boom, she's got a torch. Oh, at least I'll be able to solder in the dark now. Question, so obviously people do a lot of soldering. What do you reckon the best soldering iron is? I've just always used this type, but I know there's like that type with the wire, etc. Let me know what you use. But yeah, I've got a light that does like nothing, but at least I can do it in the dark. So I was writing down the numbers for this plug, so 1 to 15. And then I counted the pins, and there's only 13. So someone stole 2 pins, or I ordered the wrong thing and I thought I had 15 pins. So unfortunately I've had to remove one part out of this loom. So I took out the water methanol part of the loom. So I just took out this plug which goes to the water methanol, and I'll just put one of these plugs on it and reuse one of these. So these are also a bulkhead, so you can screw that inside the box and plug it in. So I'll just use that instead, which is a bit of a bummer, but I'm not going to order some more of these plugs because they take a while to get here, and I don't have the patience to wait, or neither do I want to wait because we're so close. So I'll just carry on and get this one soldered up. Stick with me. So let's get into it. So there's 4 bigger pins here, so I'm just going to chuck the bilge pumps on those because they'll be the highest draw, and the rest can be on these smaller pins. So you got to look. Oh, I know what they are. Yeah. So this one here I'll just cut as my reference because that one is for the hydraulic, what's it called, the hydraulic block. So that's my reference line, so I'll use that one to cut the rest of them, and as I go I have to write down what they are, otherwise I won't know. So let's start with this one. So this is the boost valve. So the camera gets bumped, I'm just working behind it. So what I do is make sure they're the same length, snip it there, write down on my piece of paper what it is. So that's going to be 13. Boost valve. And when I do it, I cover it in heat shrink, because when you've got it all together you don't want them bending over and touching. So just cut a little piece of heat shrink, slide it over. Once again I'm using the glue heat shrink because it doesn't move. So I'll just slip that over. Then I'll get me, when I was in America I bought these. These are one of the best tools I've ever bought. So I used to go to America for my for my work, and I used to go over there and buy all the tools because it's so much cheaper over in America. And I'll tin it with some solder, and then I'll slap the solder in there. Boom, heat shrink on, and then shrink it down. So I'll do that, and you can watch a time lapse if you really want to. Let's go. So there it is, all soldered up. So now I'll just assemble the plug. And yeah, assemble it up. When I put this rubber boot on, I inject some silicone inside there so it seals it a bit better, because it's not one solid core. So I'll just squirt some silicone down the boot there, and then put the heat shrink over it. Sweet. So what I'll do is just, yeah, squish this in here and squirt some silicone in it. Like that. Wipe it off, and then I put the clamp on, and then cover it with heat shrink. And there we have it, another loom. So now I have to replicate this for the old man, and then I'll move on to something else. There it is installed. So it just goes back up behind there, comes out here. So I have to fix it to the underside of this, goes all the way down to the other side and down to there, and then connects to the plugs down here. I've just put a bit of temporary tube here just to make sure I get the routing correct, and then that one goes to the valve block. Once I get that tomorrow from the old man, I'll work that out. But yeah, I'll put it in the box. All the terminals, and still a whole lot of wiring to do once everything's brought to the box, which I think it is, except for the water level for the water methanol injection tank, and the two sensor grounds for the crank and the cam sensor. I think that's all the wiring I've got to do, and I have to terminate all the ones underneath the dash. So we're getting there. I'm just about to. But looks snazzy. So that's still the mess of wires to be hooked up, but they're all pretty much to be wired inside the box to this bad boy that I have been working on. It's chocker with cables, You lose yourself quite a bit when you're doing this sort of stuff. So hopefully I remember where they all go. I have written down where they all go, but yeah, so that one, all those are going to be wired in. ECU, all that. There's those two shielded wires for the crank and cam sensor, so I'll drill grommets through the side here and bring them out and follow this one. So this one will be like pegged down to the floor there, and then back up to the side, up here, and we'll clamp it on there somehow. Goes off to the oil pressure. So yes, waiting on the box from China so I can get all the hydraulics. So I've still probably got to put 2 more plugs, one for the hydraulic, one for the water methanol injection, and one for the water level and the methanol injection tank. Also, we've got to get the wideband sensor into the box too, so there's another lead that will have to run right around, and that will have to be glanded in because it's got a moulded on plug, not this plug, the other side. So that has to be put in through here, and then we might just gland that Bluetooth extension we did and take it up the front. So that's all I got done in my 2 days off alone. The old man's here tomorrow, so I'll stop this video here and we will collaborate tomorrow. What's that? Thursday tomorrow. So we've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday to knock out a bit more work. Yeah, it's good having time off work to work on your hobbies anyway. I need to do it more often, but I never have any holidays saved up. Yes, so cool. Let's see you later.